Now, that goes to this whole Young Thug situation. Now, of course, this is a lot more intricate when it comes to friendship, betrayal, and this chestnut checkers and all that type of talk. But let's break it down. Anyway, let's bust it down a little bit anyway. Now, I'm going to put a little disclaimer because I don't know. Of course, I heard of Young Thug, and of course, I heard of certain, songs that he did with Baby, back in the day or whatever. But I don't know too much about the whole Atlanta politics, YSL, artist versus artist, who funk with who and why. I don't know too much about that due to my age, and I just wasn't on it like that, y'all. Whatever, forgive me. But I obviously know about the trial or what have you, where it appeared that everybody was finger pointing. Certain people was making statements. Certain people was getting their case separated, and and that's a different subject because just because that happened, that don't mean you're talking. But anyway, so there was a lot of riffraff going on when it come to that. And from the outside looking in, it appeared that Young Thug was keeping it solid for the most part. Now, and then he gets out, and then he even make a song or two, and I forget what track it was when he tell him, like, what he say? I gotta ask you to do nothing. What he say? I don't want you to do nothing if I gotta be the one to tell you to spin. It was a nice little bar, but coming to find out, he was the one doing a whole bunch of talking, volunteering a whole lot of information that was unnecessary. Now, one of the things I want to know, because I haven't been keeping track of it, but obviously there's been a whole bunch of footage and audio and video leaks of Young Thug having conversations, criticizing certain people, certain artists, or what have you. Now, I'm not sure, in fact, when exactly these conversations took place. Now, was this when he first got arrested, or was these different conversations taking place during the trial? But regardless, the first question to be like, damn, how would you feel comfortable talking to him like that? Like in what capacity? Not in any capacity. I heard a lot of comments on one of the video, like, man, they gave him something to eat and some cigarettes or something, and he just talked to him like he knew him his whole life. And of course, they probably gave him his party favor of choice. Of course, if they want to know, the feds too, they don't give you what you want. Although it was the whole state RICO, but regardless. But nevertheless, he was having conversations. And now the trial's over with, he's out. There's leaks of these conversations. And this the thing. And see, again, the walls have ears. What you say will be used against you some way, somehow. But then also, the first thing that come to mind for me is them peoples is some dirty peoples. They let you get out, get comfortable, I guess, and now all of a sudden so it's like no honor amongst thieves, or nobody likes a snake or whatever. Because it feels like now you being double crossed. Did you know the conversation was being recorded, Young Thug? I'm assuming you didn't, or maybe you did. I don't know. And there's another thing. I'm gonna take it back. Young Thug at the time, I'm sure he probably thought, man, I ain't getting out of jail. So I thought maybe it was just a tell-all. Maybe, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, Maybe it was that. Or part of just didn't give a fuck. Because when you think certain, I didn't hear all his leaked conversations, but certain conversations, of course, he on some foul, undermining, and then certain, it was more like criticizing, critiquing, not like necessarily hating or undermining on certain people, and there is a difference, of course, everybody's entitled to their opinion, or as in the case of, man, he won't sell it to me for this price, but he won't, That's okay, whatever. You might expect to hear that from somebody. You're not taking that personal. Versus you trying to hate backdoor set him up type. You know what I mean? That's a whole different look. You know what I'm saying? You have to approach that a whole different way. But you get my drift. You know. But then another thing, he could just be period. He don't give a fuck. You know? Some people don't give a fuck. Although you should, just because you don't give a fuck, it may not be wise at that time to let people know you don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because you got entities and folks out here that beat you to the punch. You know what I'm saying? And play chess with it. You know, or walk you. There's all type of variables. There's all type of schemes that can be used against you when you volunteering too much about yourself when it comes to that. Blatantly just saying anything you want to say, I guess. You know, the walls have ears. Now, of course, there are certain situations or certain stances you're going to take where you don't give a damn who here. You letting it be known. I get all that. You know what I mean? But when it comes to you just gossiping about somebody, and especially this case with the laws, now, I don't know. Again, he may have thought it was over for him. I'm not sure if he thought that these conversations he was having with these folk was going to somehow help him. Now, ultimately, he did take a deal, and I made a video about that. Y'all go check it out because I know I got some experience when it comes to fighting them cases. But anyway, everybody kind of looked at him like he was. At first, people was kind of, raised eyebrows, but now it's like, nah, he appeared he had kept it solid. But then we got these leaks again, so y'all let me know what y'all think, man. And then, see, well, hold on, because I'm moving. But also, recent leak, so obviously this had to be, I guess, after the trial. He talking, I guess, disfavorable on Kendrick Lamar. I guess he saying that how Kendrick don't want to do no features with nobody, and he ain't help nobody else in the industry or help nobody from his area or something along them lines. Now, that's criticism. Now, a lot of people can say that's haterade, that he hating, and it could be a little bit of that. But like if I was Kendrick, I would expect people to feel some type of way if I'm not giving them features, and for good reason. You know what I'm saying? But, you expect that, especially if you're in high demand or not. Even if it ain't nothing personal, it's business. Right now, man, I ain't giving no features, man. I'm just, I'm doing this. I'm doing me right now. I ain't trying to work with nobody. No, I'm cool. I don't care how much money. Nah, I don't need a bag. None of that. So, for good reason. So, for somebody to be mad at that, I wouldn't even take that personal. I expect. But then, yet still, he is talking about me, though. So, and it got leaked. So it seemed like basically everything he said. And let this be a lesson. The walls got ears, man. These phones, And I'm not even just saying whether you, especially if you're famous, we already see. But I'm talking about anybody, man. Now a lot of people again have that they don't give a fuck mentality, but if you ask me, that's a weakness, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, we already know, man, there's entities out here that'll make light work of you. That's, I can't overemphasize that. So, it is wise to be selective what you say, when you say it, and definitely how you say it. That's just, I would say that's common sense, you know what I mean? And, Wise OG told me, he was like, man, I don't care how you was raised. If you don't know how to talk to people when you reach a certain age, I can't help you. I don't know what to tell you. Like, fuck you. Ain't no excuse, no sympathy for you. Basically, that was his attitude. He was like, I don't care how you was raised. If you don't know how to talk to people, period. So, y'all can take all that how y'all want, though, man. But that's just kind of like how I feel. But then again, let me finish. Because Young Thug, he did make a statement after this, kind of like on some I don't give a fuck shit. Kind of like, since y'all trying to say I make Atlanta look bad or whatever, I'm going to put all these other artists on blast in the whole Diddy type of activity. So, now that's like Nino Brown, I'm going down, I'm taking y'all with me. probably the people you gonna name, most people probably already know or suspect anyway. Now, don't get me wrong, he may know some, of course, you know what I mean, who we don't know, some Diddy type folk or whatever, but it may help, you know what I'm saying? But now, and this is another thing, do y'all think, because now they calling it, what is it, Rat Atlanta? Now, see, I wouldn't go as far as to say that, because you got suckers and you got solid ones in that city, period. So, definitely show us a lot of solid cats in Atlanta. But, hey, from the outside looking in, I would be lying to say this ain't, we know how this go, the city of Atlanta, so y'all ain't looking too good right now. So, you know, other people got the jokes, the Rat Atlanta and all that stuff. And then you're going to got a lot of finger pointing when it come to y'all local artists or whatever. And I'm sure a lot of people got a lot to say. And I'm sure a lot of Atlanta artists, a lot of veterans ain't going to say too much or nothing. But this, see again, I don't know too much about the whole YSL and all that. But do I think this get a rap game of Black Eye? I mean, yeah, but it's been so much going on. Every other event giving a rap game a Black Eye. So, I mean, what else is new? You know what I'm saying? I just did a video on the whole them the boys in Memphis, Young Dolph and all that situation. So, it's all kind of happenings that's giving a rap game a Black Eye. This is, I guess, just one of many, but the cold part is how they just leaking the footage, man. I don't know. Maybe he had a guy, he didn't want to play ball. Did they threaten him now again? I'm not sure. Other than that one statement he put, did he make another statement, like a follow-up statement? Like, did he, would he say double down on the statement or whatever? Or did he even address the whole statement about Kendrick? Now, again, he can, I mean, everybody entitled to that opinion. He can feel like want to feel, you know what I'm saying? You know, in hindsight, nigga, Kendrick, like, it's the reason why I wasn't fucking with you, nigga. You know, look how hot you niggas was, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't talking about musically, nigga, on the charts, nigga. You know what I mean? And you already was in some other shit. ATO ain't looking too good, man. So when you lose, what was that on Gladiator, man? You gotta win the crowd, man. And I ain't even talking about just the algorithm people out there, man. I'm talking about your local crowd, man. And don't get me wrong, you always gonna have haters locally, and you is banging. A lot of you guys done turned your back on each other, you know, so it's fractured. And from what I'm hearing on the feed, you know, you getting threats or whatever, and that can be, you know, because ain't nobody hoping none of that, you know. But I don't know, man. This show move, you know. Now you may not give a fuck. You may sit back and make some more tracks on it. You know what I mean? But somebody don't like you, man. Whoever leaking that footage, though, you probably want to worry about that. Now, I did see one video where they said, what's the lady, Fannie Willis or Fannie? Maybe she was. Maybe this is because you did kind of get away light if you ask them. And maybe this is they get back leaking that, you know. So, but y'all let me know what y'all think.